All right, that was our puff pastry dough, and now I'm coming in with a pizza cutter and we're just making nice, even cuts all across our puff pastry. This is gonna be a delicious dessert that I am making for my family. We're headed to the lake this weekend, and so we need a dessert that's easy to work with and that we can just bring on the go. This is so delicious and it's so easy. They don't need to be perfect slices as long as you get them across, and you do wanna leave that space in the middle. All right, once that's all done, we're just gonna slide that right over and bring in our medium-sized bowl. Up next, we're coming in with some Jell-O cheesecake mix. This is 1 ounce of Jell-O cheesecake. After that, we're coming in with about 2 cups of milk, and we're just gonna add that right into that mixture. This is gonna be such a yummy dessert, and if you want flavored cheesecake, you can do that as well. Up next, I'm coming in with a whisk, and we're just gonna lightly mix all of that cheesecake right in there. You wanna get all the sides to make sure there's no clumps. And personally, you don't even need to use one of those electronic whisks. This will do very well. This looks nice and mixed. Now we're gonna come in with some Philadelphia cream cheese, and we let it soften so it's easy to mix in there. We're gonna go ahead and break it all apart and then mix it right into that Jell-O cheesecake mix. Look at that, it is mixing in perfectly. We just wanna make sure everything is nice and creamy. And there's a little hack: if you don't wait for it to soften fast enough, you can heat it up a little bit if you need to, but we just will let it soften, and this is going to mix perfectly. If you have an electric blender, you can do that as well, but it's so simple, you don't need it. I'm just whisking by hand, and again, we are almost there. All right, this looks nice and mixed now. All right, we're gonna bring in our puff pastry again, and now I'm gonna come in with an ice cream scooper and that delicious cheesecake mix that we just made, and we're just gonna start scooping it and placing it right there. All right, we're just gonna place 1 scoop. It's just gonna run it down the center. You can use as much or as little as you want, but now that we've got it on there, we're just gonna fill it up all the way. Up next, we're coming in with our spatula, and we're just gonna nice and evenly spread that all across down the center of that puff pastry. Look at that cheesecake. It looks so good, it even smells better. Now we're coming in with some apple pie filling. We're gonna take these apples, look at that, just nice and juicy and thick, and we're gonna lay it all across that center cheesecake. This dessert is so perfect for friends, family, to take on the go, and it's so easy to make. We're gonna wanna get all of that out of that can. There we go. All right, with that same spatula, we're just gonna spread her across evenly. We're gonna get it evenly spread because we want that apple all across the cheesecake. We want it in every bite. Now we're coming in with some sliced almonds, and we're gonna be generous because I love almonds. We're just gonna spread it evenly all across the cheesecake as well. I love almonds, so whatever you wanna do. Now we're coming in with some ground cinnamon. We are going to add a little bit. If you've ever used cardamom, you can use that as well. Or if you wanna use any other sweeteners, you can. All right, that looks great. Now my favorite part, we're just going to tuck our baby in, and we're just gonna fold it perfectly. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect because once it's baked, it's gonna look delicious. So we're just gonna come across and fold and fold. It's okay if it sticks a little bit, but we're just gonna keep folding and tucking her in. And of course, if you don't wanna use almonds, you can use pecans, you can use peanuts. Sometimes I'll add coconut flakes because it adds a little bit extra sweetness, but this time I decided to use the apple filling, which is to me perfectly sweet. So we're gonna cross again all the way, nice and evenly. And look at that, I didn't even plan for it, but it's almost the perfect amount of crosses. And at the very end, we're just gonna go ahead and tuck the end in. That way nothing is spilling out. All right, next we've got some melted butter. This is just about half a stick. We're gonna come in and nicely just glaze the top of our puff pastry. This is gonna make it a nice golden brown, make it super crispy. Even my dogs want some, but this is so good. And we're just gonna glaze it all the way down. You can be generous. This is gonna add a flakiness as well, and we are all set. Coming back in with that ground cinnamon, we're just gonna top it off nicely all across the top. This is gonna add a little bit of extra sugar on top and sweetness. All right, this looks great. We're gonna pop it in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes. All right, our puff pastry is all done in the oven. Look at that. We're just gonna slide it completely off. All right, and what goes best with puff pastry? Some powdered sugar. So we're just gonna lightly tap powdered sugar all across. I love this little sifter and it is perfect. I cannot wait. I'm just gonna slice a piece. Look at that filling, the cream cheese, the apple. We're gonna come in, oh, look at that crispiness. It is baked perfectly and I can see the almonds are perfectly toasted. I'm gonna come in and just grab this piece right here. Look at that. Oh, so perfect. Beautiful and delicious. I'm just gonna place it for myself because I want first try and dibs. And I'm going to give it a shot. It is so crunchy. Oh my goodness, look at that cheesecake and the apple filling, the cinnamon. Oh, I want some of that apple filling and of course some of that crust. Careful, it's gonna be hot out the oven. That's delicious.